We're going to bring it back over to the blue couches now. Welcome back our friend Sean Dahlkemper of Dahlkemper Custom Jewelers. As part of our guide to getting hitched, we're continuing that. Were you happy with the wedding giveaway that we did a handful of weeks ago?
I'm really excited for those winners.
Yeah.
You know, they got the boat, they got the dress, they got the rings.
Yes.
Got the DJ.
They're set.
Yeah, they definitely deserved it.
They're set. That was really a fun day. I'm glad that you were here to take part in that. You told me off camera that engagement season is really popping off right now.
It really is. You know, every weekend people are getting married, you know, and it's going to go like that until New Year's, you know, and just every weekend people are getting married.
How long before the wedding do they settle on and get those wedding bands?
Oh, it's wild. We just did like a couple weeks ago. Somebody was like, we're getting married this weekend, you know, we need wedding bands. We're like, we have a lot in stock, a lot in inventory. So, you know, if we don't need a custom maker or anything, we have hundreds of options, all at different price points and things like that. Usually it's, you know, 6 months, you know, get the rings taken care of or get them in a free layaway for 6 months, put $100 down a month, you know, and you know, we layaway, we brought that back. But today we talked with someone, they're getting married in a year and a half. So they're just, people like to plan, you know, because there's so much of a wait for the venues and things
That's true. Is engraving still popular with the wedding band, especially with men's? I suppose you have more space there to do any engraving. Is that still a thing?
You need the date.
You need the date.
You need the date. So
so you don't forget the anniversary?
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. But we do the engraving in-house.
Yeah.
So if you need a date in there, we can, or put a little special message.
Yeah.
You can even use your own handwriting, and we can transcribe it into the ring.
Oh, that's a nice idea.
It takes about a week or two to do that, but we can do that for you.
Yeah. We were talking off camera about Taylor Swift's engagement ring. I said, listen, I'm not obsessed with it, but I thought that the ring was beautiful. And so you were looking at it and you were explaining what is so special about that particular ring.
Well, just by looking at it, it looks like about a 7 to 9 carat. And I think I just Googled it and it said 9 carat.
Yeah.
So that's like $1 million stone.
Yeah.
But the shape of it, it's like, what shape is it? Is it oval or is it, you know, rectangle or square? It's a cushion, antique cushion. So it's a pillow shaped.
Oh, okay.
And antique cushioning has different faceting on the bottom of the stone, the pavilion, to give it it's a vintage stone. So it looks beautiful. There's no stones on the side because what else do you need?
You don't need
18 karat yellow gold.
That big whopper right there in the middle.
You don't need no wedding band with that.
I was going to say she couldn't do a wedding band, but who needs it at that point?
Yeah,
right?
it's we do a lot of bridal rings, they call it. So they have a plain yellow gold band when they don't wear their big rock, and then they just have their statement ring. So we're doing that with newlyweds and even couples who've been engaged for 20 years. You know, when they get an upgrade, you know, they just get a bridal ring because they don't necessarily need to have you think, oh, I need an engagement ring with a band for my upgrade.
Right.
But, you know, if you get them soldered together, just get a nice big ring.
Yeah, you could do whatever you want.
You're married,
really.
yeah. So
yeah,
it's
you could
just
do
like
whatever
getting
you
a
want.
band.
And a lot of women don't like to wear their engagement ring or their wedding set when they travel as well. So sometimes they just want different options for that.
Yeah.
So that, you know, they don't have a lot of bling while they're traveling.
And that's really smart. You know, rather than just having the big rock and flipping it upside down and hiding in your hand, just, you know, buy a wedding band for me, yellow gold, or even like a $80 silver band. You know, just something to, you know, because whenever you don't have the ring on your hand, it kind of feels weird. You know, it's like, I've heard it for years, like we're taking her in repairs and things. It's like, oh, I feel naked without my ring. You know, it's like I've been married for 8 years. It's just like, it's a thing.
Funny.
When you don't have your ring on.
We've talked about this before, but what's trending for men's bands these days?
I've been doing a lot of gold this summer. You know,
Gold is back, right?
Just a plain gold band. She gets the diamonds, and we're doing a plain gold band. Some guys are like, oh, I'm gonna get a tattoo, or I'm gonna get like a silicone rubber band because they're machinists or they're in the OR. But you know, the wedding band is a symbol in the wedding ceremony. So they get a wedding band like for nice times when they go out, or you know, because you got to have a wedding band, even if it's $100 or $5,000. You have to have something signifying the marriage.
Absolutely.
Rather than just a piece of silicone.
Yeah. How long have you had your business?
I've been in the industry my whole life. I've been at my location in Yorktown Plaza for 3 years already. Feels like a year and a half.
Yeah.
But you know, it's We're having a lot of fun there. We're doing all of our repairs in-house. So whenever you come in, you talk to the person who fixes the jewelry. Sometimes I can do it for you while you wait. You can watch me fix it.
Yeah.
Most of the time, we only need it for less than a week. Nothing gets shipped out, which is really rare to find.
Yeah.
And
which is really neat too, because if you've got a family heirloom or something that you want to incorporate and make it more modern or whatever, you can work with all of that stuff.
Oh.
It's Dahlkemper Custom Jewelers.
A couple times a week, people come in and they bring in their mom's wedding bands, and we make it into something brand new. Using the gold, or we have stones and things like that.
Yeah.
It's
and you have other jewelry other than just wedding jewelry, right?
Yeah.
You have necklaces, bracelets. Do you have all that kind of stuff?
Yeah,
as well?
we just brought some brand new designs for the holiday season. Designs you won't find anywhere else. They're from LA and all the big cities, and there's really fashion forward, something that you won't have in your jewelry collection.
Yeah.
Our whole store is full of jewelry, hitting every price point. We got a lot of sterling silver, beautiful colored gemstones, ones that aren't necessarily birthstones, but just very alluring and unique.
Lots of gift options.
Yep, not too big, so they're for everyday wear. It's not too much flash.
It's not Taylor Swift size,
No.
right? That's just exactly what we need. And I'm glad to hear gold is back. That's always been my favorite.
It is.
Thanks, Sean. We'll talk to you next time.
Thanks
you
for
pop
having me.
in. When
Thank
we
you.
come back here on First at 4, we've got our headline stories, including the latest on tonight's big Powerball drawing, everything you need to know before you head out to buy your ticket. And did you notice the dress? We talked about the ring, but did you notice the dress that Taylor Swift was wearing when Travis put a ring on it? It's selling like hotcakes. But can you land one?
You're watching First at 4 with Amanda Post.
Still to come in this half hour, we're going to welcome in Amanda Rodriguez from the Little Dance Studio. They're celebrating their 100th anniversary. And Kyle Gross of our own candle company in Findlay Lake is joining us to tell us all about the Findlay Lake Harvest Festival. Hard to believe we're talking about harvest stuff already, Kelly, but it's true.
Yeah, it's not hard for me to believe it with these types of temperatures right now, but like Amanda said earlier, this is, I guess, fake fall right now. We're still hanging on to some summer conditions, just not today. Sunshine, though, on our AHN St. Vincent Skycam, west-southwest winds, about 10 miles per hour. Very comfortable dew point, still have high pressure in control, but things will start to shift as we head into the evening time. Nice and clear right now, just some cloud cover out to Warren and McKean County, and we will start to track some rain for tomorrow. But a quick look at this weekend, some of the beaches that will be open on Saturday, beach 8 and 6, Sunday 8, 6 and 10, and then on Monday, beach 6, 8, 10. All of those basically from 10 to 6, but there's some other different times on there. Hopefully take a picture right now if you want to remember it later. Okay, so this weekend some of the beaches will be open, but then after that, that's when we will start to shift gears into fall time. But most of your Wednesday evening, rest of tonight looking good, but Thursday unlikely for that rain, but we quickly spike up once we get to the afternoon. Erie, Crawford, and Warren County likely all getting in on this rain that will be tracking for us, and it'll also dip those temperatures down. So honestly, these temperatures right now, this is kind of what we're looking at for potential daytime highs when we get to Friday. But for tonight, the normal low 62 will get a bit below that into the 50s, very similar to what we saw yesterday. So we'll keep an eye on those changing of temperatures, and you can kind of see it here Friday into the mid 60s with lots of sunshine. And then as we head into Labor Day weekend, not too many complaints in terms of rain, but it'll still be a bit chilly throughout most of the weekend.
Those top 4 at 4 headline stories for this half hour. The Trump administration is threatening to pull federal funding from state sex ed programs that mention transgender people. A division of the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services told 40 states, 5 territories, and the District of Columbia in a letter that they are now on notice. They must remove gender ideology content from sex ed materials paid for through the State Personnel Responsibility Education Program, or PREP. That was a program created by the Affordable Care Act. Individual program details vary by state, but to get funding through PREP, the curricula teaches young people about abstinence and contraception. PREP's goal is to prevent pregnancy and sexually transmitted infections. The Trump administration warns that if even a mere mention of gender identity or transgender people is found in the curricula, the programs could risk losing potentially millions of dollars. The man who threw a sandwich at a federal agent this month in Washington, D.C. was not indicted in this incident. Sean Dunn was charged on August 13th for throwing a sandwich at a Customs and Border Protection officer. Tuesday, sources said the grand jury rejected the felony assault charge from prosecutors. It's unclear if prosecutors will try again to get a felony indictment or refile charges as a misdemeanor. A preliminary hearing is scheduled for next week. Federal judge will decide if there's probable cause that a crime was committed. More proof of just how incredibly unlikely it is to win the Powerball jackpot. No one's done it since May 31st, and that means that the pot is rolling over after no one won again Monday night. Now, it's expected to reach $815 million before tonight's drawing, and that would make it the 7th largest in the lottery's history. Cash value of that payout, if taken in a lump sum, would be about $368 million. The jackpot could go even higher if more people than expected buy tickets. Of course, that also increases the likelihood of a winner or even multiple winners who would have to split that big prize. And finally, today the dress Taylor Swift wore on her engagement photos has sold out. It comes after the photos were posted by Swift and Kansas City Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce in their engagement announcement on Tuesday. Swift wore this cream and black silk blend dress by none other than Ralph Lauren, selling for just under $320. All sizes quickly selling out on Ralph Lauren's website. The celebrity couple made the engagement announcement in concurrent social media posts. Well, the unofficial end to summer is right around the corner, and if you're looking to squeeze in a final trip before fall, there's some good news. Airfare and gas prices apparently are down in many places across the nation. Jen Sullivan.
As the summer season comes to a close and cooler temperatures set in, travelers can look forward to dipping airfare and the cheapest gas prices we've seen since 2020.
It's going to get better after Labor Day and into mid-September. That's when we roll back to cheaper winter gasoline.
Patrick DeHaan with Gas Buddy says some parts of the country could see gas prices drop below $3 a gallon soon. As of Wednesday, the national average for a gallon of regular gas was $3.21. That's 14 cents cheaper than this time last year.
The bigger thing pushing prices lower this year has really been OPEC, who earlier this year raised production. That's pushed the price of oil down.
If you're hitting the roads this holiday weekend, AAA says the worst time to travel is Friday between noon and 8 p.m. and returning home Monday between 1 and 4 p.m.
I always advocate for hitting the road as early as possible, get a good night's sleep, fill up the night before.
Aixa Diaz with AAA says Labor Day isn't as popular as some of the other holiday weekends for travel because many students are back in school.
It's not like July 4th, where if a lot of people have summer vacations, there's a lot of fluctuations in which days people are leaving. Same over Christmas. With Labor Day weekend, it's like most people are probably going to leave on Friday and come back on Monday.
If you're flying, domestic airfare is 6% cheaper than last year, according to AAA. Diaz says now is a great time to start booking an upcoming trip. For Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
Tell us all about the 100th anniversary of the Little Dance Studio and all about this weekend's Finley Lake Harvest Festival. So much more still to come here on First at 4.
You're watching First at 4 with Amanda Post.
Let's welcome in our next guest now. Amanda Rodriguez is the owner and director of the Little Dance Studio, which is celebrating its 100th anniversary. Yes. Welcome, Amanda.
Thank you so much for having me.
That's so neat. I was asking you some questions off camera, but let's get the history of it. So it opened in 1926.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Who opened it?
Catherine Little was the owner. She opened it when she was 14 years old. So back in the Great Depression, actually.
That's amazing. And what inspired her? Do you know much about the history? What inspired her to open it?
So her parents thought that she was awkward and that they thought that this would help, kind of help her be more social. And she just ran with it. 2 years later, she had dance classes out of her parents' piano room, and she dropped out of high school at the age of 16.
And then where did she open the studio? North Park Row?
North Park Row.
And
yes.
it stayed there until what?
It stayed there until about 2006.
That's amazing. And where's it located now?
West 9th Street.
Okay. And you've been the owner for how long now?
This is our 12th season.
12th season. But you've been involved with the Little Dance Theater.
My whole life.
Yeah,
yes,
your whole life.
My whole life.
What is it about this that you just love, that you've stuck with your whole life, and now, you know, when did you know that you wanted to own it and take it over?
Oh gosh, I knew early on from a young age. So the Little Dance Studio has an assistant program that young girls starting at the age of 10 are able to come in, assist the teacher, kind of learn the ins and outs of how the classroom is ran. And I started that very young. Catherine asked if I would be a classroom assistant, and she looked me in the eyes and said, "You're going to be a great teacher one day." And it's just something that I always knew deep down that I wanted to do.
All styles of dance are taught?
All styles of dance. We start at the age of 1 and we go to 87.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yes.
What are some of the most popular styles that folks are really interested in joining up for now?
Sure. Hip hop for sure is always popular. All ages. We start at 4 and we go all the way up to adults.
Yeah. How many instructors do you have?
We are about 15 instructors.
That's terrific.
Yeah.
So talk a little bit about the 100th anniversary. Are you doing things to help celebrate it and bring notoriety?
Yeah, so I haven't released my theme yet for the 100th, but I am saying we're in our diamond era for 100 years. So everything is just going to be big, diamond, glitz and glam, and we're very excited. That will start in January.
Okay. So what is the month of the anniversary?
So when we start in January, that will be our official 100th season. We have our Christmas production, September to December. We'll celebrate our 10th Christmas production, and then come January, that will kick off our 100th.
That's amazing. I mean, how special it must be to have something with such heritage and lineage behind it. You must really honor that.
It is. It's such a legacy, and it's something, so my parents are my business partners. It's the three of us. They run my office and I run the studio, and we always wanted to ensure that the little name remained intact, and that was something that I never wanted to alter when it transitioned into my directorship.
Well, because it has such a heritage in the area, it makes sense to not change it.
Of course.
Yeah, which is wonderful. What do you love about being a part of this and seeing the Little Dance Studio now continue to grow?
You know, our slogan is creating confidence and character through the love of dance, and just seeing a shy dancer come in and then they develop into a confident. Those skills they take on and off the dance floor, and it's something that they carry into adulthood.
Yeah, you've got classes are beginning next week for
Tuesday.
a new season. So do you commit for a year at a time, or how does that work?
Most do, but you don't have to. You can just do the Christmas production and then come back in January, or vice versa.
Okay.
But most of our families like to stay on board for the whole year.
So if you know, if you're watching and you've got a little one, or any age really, that wants to get involved, how do you contact and sign up for those classes?
Just give us a call. We're on Facebook, our website. We're very accessible, and we're happy to meet you. And we have a spot just for you in our little dance family.
Yeah, LDSErie.com is the website. Again, those classes begin September 2nd. And just name off some of the classes that are available.
Sure, we have hip hop, jazz, lyrical, acro, jazz, tap, really everything except for ballroom right now.
Yeah, that's terrific. And again, tell us where you're located now.
We're on the corner of 9th and Peach Street.
Okay, so give them a call, check out the Facebook page or the website, and sign up for those classes. Congratulations on your 100th. And be sure to come back when you've got some things to promote. When the Christmas show comes up, and all the great things.